Some more people ask me about the digital nomad topic, which for me is just a totally natural thing now. But okay, I can give you some points of how you know if being a digital nomad is right for you. Because I think this is the most pressing question right now. And let me get a coffee first. So the first thing is if you want to have a lifestyle change, because the way you work as a digital nomad is totally different, and it doesn't really matter how much you travel right away, but just the way you work is different. So you really have to be totally digital. That is the first premise. If you want that lifestyle change, it might be for you. The question is, do you want that? It's totally different. It's a different mode of working. And also depends on the field you're working in. Some fields, they allow that, some fields don't. So I think if you can imagine doing everything through the computer or through the telephone, it might work. Second point, you should figure out, do you actually want to travel? As a digital nomad, you can travel almost as much as you want, given some constraints in time zone or budget, but you don't necessarily need to travel. You could technically play your digital nomad life, but just stay where you are right now, but just work remote, and maybe you have some certain workplaces you prefer over an office, or you just like to travel in a very small scale. That's totally up to you. But if you have the urge to travel, becoming a digital nomad might be for you. The third requirement is you have the ability not to feel lonely. And that's something, it depends on your personality. I mean, you can be either, let's say, extrovert, like I am, or introvert, like many other people. If you're introvert, you just like to work away on your laptop. But if you're extrovert and you gain energy from social interactions, you actually need to make a plan to not be lonely. I quickly talked about that before in another video, but that's something I had to figure out. It was a bit easier for me because I'm very outgoing and I can meet people very fast. But at times it was definitely quite lonely to be in a new city and didn't know anyone. I had days where I just worked away on my laptop on projects, like even on the weekends, without meeting anyone. So that's definitely something to consider. Know yourself before you start to become a digital nomad. Having the right attitude is an important thing. So let me explain. Let's say you're not realistic about things, you would probably not make it. I can give you an example. When I just recently started a new assignment, I thought I could work 8 hours in that certain time frame, and I was traveling by car through Eastern Europe, and I noticed that I wasn't actually able to work these 8 hours. So I had to change things. I had to adjust my attitude towards that assignment over there. And I think that can happen to a lot of people when they just start out. They don't see how much overhead is involved in actually traveling, in actually doing things that are not that feel like leisure time, but they're actually belonging to your life now. So that was something I definitely had to learn, to be realistic about what I do, how much I can do, and then planning everything, doing all these things that are involved in your new lifestyle. And then at the same time, of course, working hard and being able to put in the hours that let's say you sold to a client or that you want to put into your own project. Yeah. definitely, I think checking your attitude before you do anything definitely makes sense in general. Point 5. In this article I read, well, my take on that is if you don't have the right skills, you shouldn't start at all. I know a couple of people coming to, let's say, these digital nomads, these main cities where digital nomads like to go first, like Chiang Mai. You see people there that don't have the right skills yet, but still playing digital nomad, let's say for half a year or for 1 year, until they run out of money. To me it was a bit different. I did it the wrong way. I did it, you say in English, like you go cold turkey, which is the word that you can also use when you're getting from a drug addiction down to nothing in a very short time. It was difficult because I think I needed 1 year to start to make money. That was definitely something where I think this article that I read from Hannah is wrong. I think it's better to get the skill set first and then start going. Point number 6, you want to work for yourself. Even if you work as an employee, but you work remote. Remote in the sense of technically you could be a digital nomad. In any case, you have to work self-determined. That means people will not check on you. They will not check if you're working or not. You will not have this someone looking over your shoulder and asking you. So this is probably one of the most important things that you have to figure out. Can you work like this? And does it excite you? If it bores you, if you lack motivation doing that, maybe you shouldn't do it. There are actually a couple of more points, like you're keen on self-development, you want to be healthier, happier and freer. Okay, I'm putting all these points together now. I don't think it's relevant. I have seen people who are not ready at all. I have seen people who are doing no personal development at all. It doesn't matter. The thing is, it's just a different way of working and you combine traveling with work. That's just it. And the only thing you have to figure out is, can you make money? If you have, let's say, if you have a budget of, let's say you have 3,000 euros. Okay, I know as a Vietnamese salary that's a lot. So with that money, you could do anything. You cannot, let's say, live in a couple of cities, like let's say San Francisco or Los Angeles. Yes, you cannot live there. But you can travel pretty much the world without any problems. But let's say even if you make less and you can, and you travel, let's say, through Asia, through Vietnam. So this should be it for this video now. There is a lot more to say to this topic. Please comment below, ask me the right questions and I make a follow-up video and I will explain much more to the topic and maybe also to make money. Okay? And then see you soon in the next videos. Bye bye!